Hello, everyone, and welcome to a brand new episode of the Need to Nerd podcast. This is episode 129, and I'm your host, Heezy. I am joined by my co-host, a man who doesn't believe in backup quarterbacks, Patty friggin' B.
Oh yeah, they're just roster clogs. If you need a backup quarterback, you'll find one. There's plenty out there.
Yeah. I don't know. I think that when you get to, certain levels of teams, we're in a 10-team league for the Discord, and I think that it is totally reasonable not to have a backup quarterback. I also think that, I've played in 14 team leagues where it was very important to have one. It just kind of depends.
Yeah. Without us doing super flex, yeah. And I also kind of just like to play the matchups, even like bad quarterbacks, if it's a good matchup that week, can score you a bunch of points.
Yeah, I was looking at defenses this week for that exact reason. I was already like, I might play the Seahawks. Let's go. So this week is our Needs Nerd. We'll talk a little bit about fantasy football as we get into it. It's September. We're recording on September 1st. Let's go. New month, new year. No, I'm just kidding. New month, new day, and we're excited. But before we get too far into this week's show, let's have our nerd fact of the week. Every week on the show, we like to try to give you something cool that has happened or a fun fact. And did you know, Patty B, that as of this week, there is only one animated movie ever to reach $1 billion in the box office?
One ever?
One ever. And it had to surpass The Lion King to do it.
I was about to say, I was like, is it The Lion King?
It's not. Inside Out 2 has become the highest grossing box office hit in the history of animated films.
That's cool.
How do you feel about that? I haven't seen it yet, so it's hard. I was not the biggest Inside Out 1 guy. I think that it was good, but I'm a little shocked at this.
Yeah.
Are we craving animated movies pretty hard right now?
I think they recasted a couple of the other emotions.
They did.
And so I the first one was good. It wasn't, and it was it tugged on my heartstrings a bit.
Yeah.
And so I think the addition of making anxiety the quasi villain of the movie is a good thing, and introducing that as an emotion, and it hits the right spots right now. So I don't know. That's crazy that it beat out The Lion King.
Yeah, I haven't seen it yet, so I can't talk trash or anything. I
think it just came out as well to streaming platforms, to Disney Plus. So
did it really?
At my possibly. I let me check my math.
Check your math, Patty. While he's checking his math, just want to give a shout out to the Discord. We had some fun in there today, doing our fantasy draft for the Discord. If you want to talk fantasy sports, especially during the football and basketball season, it's a great place to head on over. I like to post my daily fantasy lineups when I run them, things, and have some discussions around that. We also had limited discussions going on for Magic the Gathering recently, as well as anime and video game discussions. So the Discord has actually been kind of popping off this week, and I just want to give a shout out to those who are a part of that. If you want to enter to win a new Nintendo system, as well as the newest version of Smash, hit that subscribe button on the YouTube channel. One of our first 1,000 subscribers will win one. We're excited to give that away when that time comes. But it's our Need to Nerd, and we're going to talk about it. And I'll go first on what are we nerding out about right now. The first thing I'm nerding out about is my awesome fantasy draft. Patty B, of course, stuck me with the worst pick in the entire draft. As the commissioner, he always tries to make sure that I am screwed, and he really messes with stuff. It's just really rude every time. But no, I kind of like my draft. and I'm excited for fantasy football. I'm only in one league this year, Patty. I was just doing the one with my wife and you and Shelby. I just don't have time to do that many drafts. Like, it's just actually a pretty big commitment with 2 kids.
Yeah, this week was really busy for me because I had 3 drafts this weekend. So I'm in my long time like money cash league with a bunch of the like car salesman guys, and that one was this morning. Crushed that one. I'm less happy about tonight's team. Like it's fine. It's always trickier when you're having to play more of your players, which was kind of what I was going for with the league. And I had the last pick in the draft. I, contrary to Spencer's belief, did not screw him with the 5th pick.
I believe you had the best pick in the draft, is what you meant to say?
No, you're always at the, like...
I think that most people feel the way that I feel. So I
don't know. Maybe we should make that like a Spotify question.
Dude, we totally should, because, like, you're like, grumpy grumpers. I actually did like Devonair's draft position. She was 9th. And I was like, oh, this is actually interesting that you get to...
Yeah, I like 8th or 9th, or like 3rd or 4th, right? Where you can kind of track the 2 teams on the end as far as what they need, and then like make your decisions on what you think will come back to you. It's like one of the... I was saying that on the turn you don't have as much agency, where like you have a little bit more when you're planning for a couple folks on each side.
I love that. My next up is still football related. It's college football. Yesterday, woke up, went downstairs, turned on College Football Live. I have a tradition of making chili cheese nachos on Saturdays. So just like a can of chili, some chips, some cheese, some hot sauce, and it brings me back to just being like a teenager watching football on my couch before heading to the BYU game or, you know, whatever I was heading to. And it was pretty lit yesterday, I'm not going to lie. Most of the favorite teams won this weekend. And for those who don't know, I'm a huge Oregon Ducks fan. And they had a very good showing on yards, but also were penalized a lot. And it was really frustrating. They also had 2 trick plays go for touchdowns against them on their defense, and their O-line looked rough. This is getting super nerdy, but I just, you know, we were promised the Bo Nix Part 2 Electric Boogaloo show, and listen, Dylan Gabriel has 14,000 passing. Like, he might actually break the all-time passing yard record this year. You know, as a 7th-year quarterback. But he's kind of small, and I'm worried about, you know, I know that obviously, like, I don't know how big the O-lines were that he's played with, but he honestly looked kind of small. We'll kind of see how it goes, but I'm just stoked for college football to be back, man. Like, I love pro football, like, a ton. Obviously, you know, it's brought me more joy in my life, professional football, than any other sport by, you know, metric ton. I'm very lucky. But there's something special to the passion that happens at a college football game that, you know, we were watching the Utah Utes game, for example, playing SUU, right? Like, just a team that they're gonna dumpster. And, you know, my wife is watching it as an SUU grad, just like still cheering for it. And it's just, there's just something special about the college game. And, you know, a lot of people say that it's ruined because of the NIL, but the transfer portal is like kind of a problem. But I don't know, man. Like, it was a nice Saturday of college football for me, especially because, like, me and my daughter were both sick. So she's still got 100-degree fever right now. She's in bed right now. But
it's no good. Yeah, it's always even though I don't like the Oregon Ducks, go Utes. It is always fun to see you and your daughter hanging out and her in her little duck costume.
Dude, that's a new one. Her old one didn't fit anymore, and she wanted a new one.
I know. I saw that.
So she's like, I need a new one, and we surprised her with it. And she wanted to, she wore it like all day on Thursday or Friday. Like she just and like she wanted to wear it to bed. She's like, it's like her thing with dad that like makes it really special for her. And Friday night, Maxwell decided that he wants to be a Ducks fan now. He wants to join the party. So really excited.
The Ducks gang. So do you think with some of those like the penalties that's like a symptom of not having Coach Lanning there?
I don't know. Wait, Coach Lanning was there though.
Didn't he go to Alabama?
No. The Washington.
Oh, that was the Washington guy.
He turned down the Alabama job. He made a huge statement about it. He's like, I'm not gonna go. I'm staying here. I want to be a Duck for life.
I must have been mixing up then. I thought the Oregon coach changed teams.
No, he got offered the job and turned it down, and then they gave it to the Washington coach.
Okay. Cool.
But, yeah, and then I caught up on My Hero up until yesterday's episode. I haven't watched yesterday's just yet. Of My Hero, I finished it. I caught up on Friday, so I got one episode to go on the sub, and then the dub also released an episode yesterday. And I'm really, really enjoying My Hero again. It's one that there are parts about this season, and we'll get into it when we do the review, that I'm like, come on, this is a lot. But the vibe is immaculate for this show still.
Mm-hmm.
And I love that. And then, yeah, I've just kind of been enjoying Magic in a new way recently. I'm sure we can talk about it when we get to your stuff too, but like,
yeah,
I really put on my Brewers gloves this set. Have brewed a deck that I just enjoy immensely, and as well as another deck that I was getting ready for DC with. That Magic has been really fun lately. Getting in the draft streets, I bought a draft pack on Arena to get some drafts in. And it's been really fun. Magic is like in a really. It's weird to say that Magic the Gathering is in like such a great place. If you're just following the Magic Twitters, you'd be like, no, it's obviously like in the worst place ever because everybody complains about it all the time. And then we just had like 6 bans, but it actually is really fun right now, both in standard and in limited. I think that there's the changes that just happened were necessary and it's exciting. So it's been really fun, man.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, I've been enjoying standard a lot too. It's there's one of these decks that has my fancy, and I can't seem to lose with it. So
that's dope. And then, kind of my last thing, I've been doing some comfort gaming. So mostly playing Red Dead Redemption 2 again. I think I talked about this a while ago, but I looked and my Steam account has almost 90 hours into my Red Dead Redemption playthrough, and I'm still at Horseshoe Overlook, for those who know what that is. So I'm still in Chapter 2. I just have been doing everything and really, really enjoying it. It's been fun playing a ton of Breath of the Wild again. I started a new file for Mario Bowser's Fury. Just doing things that like I enjoy, that I don't have to be like hyper competitive in. Finished a season in Dynasty mode for college football. Just really kind of trying to just like have immaculate vibes when it comes to gaming right now.
Immaculate vibes. That's cool.
What about you? What have you been nerding out about?
Yeah, so a lot of the same things. Like I mentioned, I had 3 fantasy drafts this weekend. I had one on Friday that just like felt like I got everything I wanted. Except for my tight end. The tight end in that one's not as good. I got David Njoku, but like I have Waddle and Ayuk on my bench. Is how good that's going. um, so that one's pretty fun. I've been doing a lot of that this weekend. I'm really stoked for that this season to start up. Like, kind of get back into my routine of podcasts and such. I caught up except for I guess if they released a new dub. We were more tempted than ever this week to to watch the sub. The way the last one ended, it was just like it was really hard, but we stayed strong and still haven't seen any subs.
Yeah, it's this season of My Hero is like that, where it's like, and it's a lot, man. Like it's a lot.
Yeah, so that happened. This weekend I played in the Kayfabe Store Championships. I went 4-0-8-0 with Dawn's Green Black Vine Lasher deck. It's the Analyst Nissa combo.
Who's
the
Dawn?
deck is it was posted in our mission shared in our Discord.
Oh, okay.
She went 7-1
in the Patreon Discord for constructive criticism.
Yes. Yeah.
Got it.
Sorry. I have to be specific there. Mason shared it there. And yeah, it's I found the week before I had tried this like Abzan mid-range deck that was doing a lot of the things that I liked from Domain, but like was more of a mid-range shell, like playing Deadly Cover-Ups instead of Sunfalls, some earlier black removal. But I bubbled with a 17-player, like 5-round cut to top 8. I got 9th. So then I found that we had some Lumers, so I sleeved that up, and it was pretty great.
Nice. I gotta make time to go to more local events that aren't RCQs, because like they're so fun to just be a part of the community and see people that maybe they're not a part of the same part of the competitive scene that you're in. And like back when my wife and I were dating, when she was living hundreds and hundreds of miles away, I went to like an inappropriate amount of Magic locals. Like I was at a Magic local every night for a while.
Yeah.
So
that's cool. Yeah, I haven't been going to as many like just weekly regular events, but with the standard showdowns back, I haven't really loved Modern.
Ever? Just ever?
Basically since Splinter Twin was banned. Like,
fair enough.
I think that's why I like Pioneer so much, is it's like it's about that power level. And so yeah, having something else to go to the last couple weekends that's not, Modern RCQs has been
Nice.
Pretty good.
Talk to me about the bear.
Yeah, oh my gosh. The bear. Shelby and I, we binged the first 2 seasons of this show. We could not put it down. It is so good. It's a dramedy about this world-renowned chef that his brother ODs, and he goes home to take over his failing restaurant, and it's really, really funny. It's really heartfelt. I don't know what else more to say. It's so good. If you have the opportunity, you should watch it.
What is it on?
It's on Hulu.
Okay, cool. Maybe I'll check it out. I have like quite a backlog of things that I want to watch.
Yeah.
I need to make like a spreadsheet of like the things that people recommend. And
yeah, so that like when you're looking for something to watch, you're just like, oh, and let's see here.
Yep.
That's good. Let's do that. It's funny. There's an extra level. So it's fine if you haven't worked in the service industry or like a restaurant, but like there's an extra level of comedy and like you feel things differently if you've been a server or a cook in a restaurant.
In case you're wondering if I have worked in the service industry, Patty B, 90% of the Spanish words I know are swear words.
Fair enough. That sounds like a yes. Sorry, heard chef. I found myself replying with heard a lot. So okay. Yeah, no, the Bear's really good.
Is it 2 seasons long right now?
Three. We accidentally watched the first season of episode 3. Where like the last episode of season 2 kind of just bled into it.
How do you accidentally watch?
Yeah, I know. It's hard to give it away to do something.
That's fine. Like, you don't have to spoil it.
But the opening episode for season 3, there is not a lot of audio. It's very visual, and so it kind of from the end of season 2, like you thinking you're watching kind of like, and it just kept going, and it didn't feel like we had like left the episode.
Fair enough.
So that, and then we look down, it's like, oh shit, it's been like half hour, 40 minutes. Like, okay, I guess we watched episode 1. So
nice.
Yeah. And then my comfort gaming has just been some Fortnite here and there. Like I've been playing enough that I may get the battle pass for this season. So
I get the battle pass for Ultra Rumble for both me and Maxwell.
Yeah.
But he wants to spend like he doesn't understand the concept of money. So like he'll be like, Dad, I need, or like he'll see the $5 gem deal that you get for like one time, right? It's like 1,000 gems for $5. He's like, Dad, can I get this? I'm like, you already got it. He's like, well, don't I get it every season? I was like, nope. That's the $25 one for this amount of gems. And he's like, well, I don't have $25. I only earned $5. I was like, I'm aware of how much money you've earned.
Yeah. So, as the person handing out the money.
As the one with the dollars, I know that you don't have $25.
Yes. Yeah, those are really good. I do like those like $5, like $10 special deals. Like I didn't buy the draft one, but I bought the other one that was like 15.
Are you talking about on Arena and stuff?
On Arena, they got like the QPs. Yeah.
There was one with QPs?
Yeah, man.
They used to give you 2 QPs for buying the duel. Like, if you bought both the draft one and the battle pass or whatever it's called, I think they gave you 2 QPs.
Sure.
But
yeah, I need to play more leagues. That's something I on Arena. That's something I do a lot of ladder play, but
I switched back to leagues this week because I was like, I was looking at my Arena account and was like, this is really free to play if I just do it this way.
Yeah.
So what's your next thing? Like, you've been Fortniting, but what's your next thing?
Yeah, I don't really know exactly what my next like nerd thing is. Not this upcoming weekend, but the next I may be Nick is finalizing staffing for we got a we'll be vending at the Pokemon Regional Championship in Baltimore. So I may go and help him with that, depending on what he needs for staffing. So that I need to find a new game that's not Fortnite. Maybe I should just come over and get Red Dead from you. I've been looking. It's been creeping up on my timeline or my marketplace on Facebook. There's been a lot of like pretty good deals on Xbox One S's. So like I might try and pull the trigger on that when I can.
Dude, when I got my Xbox, we got an Xbox One S in like November. And I'm like, it'll be fine. Like, I don't need to do physical copies. It'll be fine.
Mm-hmm.
And Devonair went and bought an X, to surprise me, off of the Walmart marketplace.
Mm-hmm.
And for those who don't know, the Walmart marketplace is not Walmart. It's third-party people. So she bought from a scalper. And my Xbox was, I will just say it because it's not Devonair's fault. She didn't understand what was happening. Xbox was $1,000.
Jeez.
And we paid it off for months. So,
okay.
I think you can get an Xbox Series S for under like $240 or something.
Yeah, I've seen some around 150, 170.
Yeah, that sounds like a
Like
sweet
third
deal.
party. Yeah,
What's
so
really-
those are the ones I want to try and hop on.
For what it's worth, those are really cool too if you're like traveling a bunch, because you can buy the TV attachment for those that just hooks onto the back, and it turns it into like a.
Oh,
it's really
that's
cool.
kind of cool.
Yeah, they only make them for that one.
Sure. Okay.
So it's really sweet. Like,
that's interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. So as far as shows, we're going to continue The Bear, season 3, get that finished. And then I don't know. I think last month we talked about, like, I should probably watch The Good Place at some point. I know that's something you're very passionate about. So that's something I'll probably do.
You should.
This next week I'm going to go see the new Beetlejuice movie.
I want to talk about recommendations for a second. It's so hard sometimes when you're like, I remember there's like a few things like this. So like a really good example of this is like Game of Thrones. Episode 1 of Game of Thrones, honestly, like the first like half of season 1 of Game of Thrones is a slog.
Yeah.
It's so bad. And you're like, so like, I don't know when you started. I don't even remember when I started, but I remember like everyone watching it in like season 2 or 3.
Yeah.
And like people really close to me. And I probably started episode 1 of that show 11 times. Like I was like, my friend Nat Kling, this is his exact experience with Game of Thrones. He's like, I can't get past episode 1. I was like, dude, I get it. I get it. And I think that like when you're recommending things to people, you should be really transparent about stuff like this. There's an anime called Hunter x Hunter. It's considered like one of the best animes and mangas of all time. It's written by the person that wrote Yu Yu Hakusho. And in the first 20 episodes, I'm not joking, 20 episodes, nothing happens. Then, episode 21 sums up the 20 episodes in a single episode.
Okay.
And I was so mad that I watched those 20 episodes. I was like, nobody told me that I could just skip to episode 21 and get all of the information? Like, what?
Thanks, guys.
So, with The Good Place, let me just say this. It is a unique kind of comedy. And it doesn't make sense to start because it's not supposed to.
Okay.
But something I'm working on in my life, Patty B, is hyperbole, and not having much hyperbole as I usually do. So when I say this, know that I'm working on that it is literally the best TV show of all time. Like, it will make you laugh, it will make you cry, it will make you feel things, it will make you question things, and it is some little sitcom with a guy from Jacksonville, Florida, who, it's so good. It's so good. I have a fun story about recommendations while we're on this topic before we move on to my stuff. So for those who are going to our Magic the Gathering players, listen to the show. We have a regional championship coming up in Portland in the near future, and I was talking to my co-host. I was like, "Hey, just so you guys know, like for those who don't know, I'm skipping out on DC. I'm qualified for DC, and I'm just not going to go for money reasons and family reasons and stuff."
I wish you could defer your invites.
But I will be going to Portland regardless of whether or not I qualify, because it's my favorite place in the world. There's this restaurant there that I always go to, that I will never not go to. It is called The Screen Door. It is a Southern comfort food restaurant. The first time I had pine needle soup was there. The first time that we went there, you know, one of the people with us is like, you know, what's the best thing on the menu? And they're like, it's the fried chicken. And I ordered a burger, I think. And we were all trying each other's stuff. I took a bite of that fried chicken. We went to the same restaurant the next day so that we could all get the fried chicken. It is not just the best fried chicken I've ever had. It is the best bite of food I've ever had. And I had been talking about this for like a year before this GP Portland, this Magic event in Portland. And Matt Kling sits down and he orders the chicken. He's like, dude, there's no way this chicken can live up to how much you've sold it, Spencer. There's no way that I won't be disappointed. And they bring out his food, and he takes a bite, and he says, holy bleep, you undersold the chicken.
See, I felt this way going to Mary Mac's Cafe or tea shop in Atlanta, for what it's worth. Like, having the Southern food down there was just like game changing, mind blowing.
Yeah, I mean, you know me, Patty B. Like, we went to freaking San Diego, and I was looking for Southern food. I'm just like,
yeah, we had the alligator, right?
Dude, that was actually good though.
Yeah,
dude. When I was in Nashville, I had frog legs for the first time.
Oh, I've not had frog legs.
That's
kind of scared about it, but yeah.
I know this is like a cop. It does taste like chicken. I mean, it just tastes like a white meat, right? Like, but it's like leaner. And I don't know if that's how they cooked it, but it was definitely slimier.
That tracks.
Because that's what it's the same thing with the alligator, right? It was leaner. Right. It was slimier.
Slimier, yeah.
So for me, the next things that I'm nerding out about, now I'm hungry. It's literally, when we hang up this call, I will be loading up Star Wars Outlaws. And oh man, do I have some thoughts? I know that on this podcast we have talked in ad nauseum about Star Wars fandom, but I just like what a perfect summary of like the Star Wars fandom. So one, I get that people sometimes really don't like Ubisoft, and that Ubisoft has let people down a lot. I get it. I think that like Phoenix Rising was amazing. And it's, people are like, Ubisoft hasn't done something good since Black Flag, and that's just not true. Like, as I just said, I think Phoenix Rising, while a Breath of the Wild clone, is really freaking good. Like, really freaking good. So, like, it hasn't even been 7 years since they had, it hasn't been 6 years since they had, like, an amazing game. Some studios don't even put out games in 6 years. Like,
right.
But, like, the number of people that just hate this game and say it sucks before they played it, can we stop doing that? Like, come on. What are we doing? Also, so much is lost when we do that. Like, some people are calling this a stealth game. Some people are calling it, like, this other thing. And some people are like, it's Red Dead for Star Wars. Some people are like, It's Assassin's Creed for like. Can we just let people experience things now, just for a minute? Like, I'm so excited to just sit down and play a new game. And if I like the game, cool. And if I don't like the game, cool. We talked a lot about Jedi Survivor and how I didn't like how they went in the direction they went with like how open the world got, right? And how the all these fetch quests and side quests and things like that, and the controls were like getting to anywhere was like a puzzle. It was the whole game was a puzzle. And I'm just excited to like get on a speeder and go to a cantina and play a game of Pazaak and then get into a brawl fight and then maybe go do a mission. That just sounds fun to me. I don't know.
Yeah, that sounds really cool. It makes sense though, like those don't have to. That's not the worst comparisons, though, right? Like of like Assassin's Creed or Red Dead. Like those are good games.
Oh yeah. I'm not saying that we can't compare things. I'm saying like, just don't say something sucks that you haven't consumed.
Yeah. Well, it's been Star Wars fans, and I mean,
we'll get into this a lot more later in the show.
Yeah, that.
Okay, NFL football. I feel a freedom, and I want to talk about it.
Okay.
I think that the Patriots are going to get last place in the NFL this year.
Ooh, yeah. Welcome to the rest of us.
All right, call.
By the rest of us, I mean you don't win a championship every single year. Probably looking up something on the Dallas Cowboys. For
the Dallas Cowboys have had 3 number 1 overall draft picks. Can you name them?
No. Probably
1974.
Deion started in Atlanta.
1974.
74.
1989.
89 is probably Aikman.
That is Troy Aikman.
Okay.
And 1991.
Did Aikman play a few years without Michael? Was that Michael Irvin?
Russell Maryland.
Okay. Not every number 1 overall pick pans out. Who's the other one? Who's the 70s?
Too Tall Jones.
Oh, okay.
The Patriots have had 5 number 1 overall draft picks. Sir. Their last one was even more recent than the Dallas Cowboys in 1993, where they selected Drew Bledsoe.
It's a good pick. Drew Bledsoe is very good.
We took him to a Super Bowl.
I know. And then Brady flashes his rings.
He took them to a Super Bowl, I said.
Yeah.
Just say he won it. Yeah, I just, there's something, I don't know. I'm just excited, man. They named Jacoby Brissett the starter, I think yesterday.
How do you feel about that?
I love Jacoby.
Yeah.
I think that he's when he was in New England last time, I liked him a lot. He was very different than Jimmy and Tom, right? But he was a very good skill set to have on your roster. Where I don't know if he's as fast as he was, what is that, 6 years ago now?
Sure.
So I don't know if he's the same running quarterback he was before, but I really enjoyed watching him in Indy. I thought that they kind of did him dirty by bringing in Matt Ryan, in all honesty.
Yeah, they did. Yeah. Yeah, he
I mean,
was
not
such a
just Matt
crack.
Ryan. Didn't they bring in Philip Rivers too?
Yes. Yep.
Yeah, that was didn't he take them to the playoffs or something?
I don't remember, but yeah, it felt like he was winning games and like
Yeah, it felt like they did him dirty
really well.
in
Yeah.
Indy. Yeah, I feel good. I didn't draft the receiver in our fantasy draft that I was going to draft. I thought it was really funny that somebody drafted a Patriots wide receiver and it wasn't Polk, the rookie,
Oh, sure.
because I think that he will be the number one Patriots receiver. But I think you kind of have to wait. Like the Patriots offense is just like.
That's why I think in 2 of the 3 drafts, I did draft the Bengals defense to play the Patriots week 1.
Yeah.
Because I don't think they'll have stuff kind of figured out, and it'll be good points there.
But I'm excited for daily fantasy. You know, NFL football is obviously back, and like I feel this freedom of like not having expectations on my team, and I just get a root. I didn't do the thing that I said I was going to do. I still technically have time to do it. Last year, I predicted the Super Bowl matchup. Not the winner. I got the winner wrong. But I wonder if you could just have a prop bet on the Super Bowl matchup like I did last year.
Yeah, I mean, Wendover's a pretty quick drive. You know, if you wanted to place that prop bet.
Yeah, I don't think it'll be the Chiefs this year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's really hard to three-peat. That's for sure.
Yeah, it's so hard.
It's coming from I think the last one to try it was.
I honestly think that it's either going to be the Ravens or the Bengals. I haven't decided yet.
It's going out of the NFC.
It's so hard to pick the Ravens though, because they just collapse in the playoffs these days. The NFC,
yeah.
I think it'll still be the 49ers.
Yeah.
They're just like this. They have the best team in the NFL. They had the best team for. You remember when the Cardinals? I don't know if you remember this. Man, we're getting like deep into NFL stuff. The Cardinals for years had like the best team in the NFL, and they kept getting injured. Like their quarterback would get injured, their star safety would get like I had like a 4-year run where I was like, this is the best team in the NFL.
I mean, it happened last year too, right? Like they were like 7-0 to start, and then Kyler got hurt, or maybe it was the year before that.
Yeah, but they just I think it was when it was Carson Palmer was their quarterback, and I think he got injured like 3 of 4 years or something, either in the middle of the season or whatever. And like, listen, not DeAndre Hopkins.
It's Larry Fitzgerald.
Larry Fitzgerald is like a cheat code, but I was like, this is the best team in the NFL. I remember one year the Patriots had Rob Gronkowski, Julian Edelman, and somebody else get injured in the playoffs. It was actually the year that the Broncos won the Super Bowl.
Okay.
And I was like, you know, not every year the best team wins. Like the best team was the Patriots. And people were like, what are you talking about? Like the best team clearly won. And I was like, no, that's not true. And somebody bet me, and I won like $300 up from somebody. They're like, I'll bet you the Broncos like repeat next year with Trevor Siemian or whoever the hell was the
not Peyton Manning.
Yeah. And I was like, you think you're gonna repeat? And I was like, I'll take that bet. Also, I'll even double down. Like the Patriots are going to win the Super Bowl next year, and boom, Patriots win it. And I think that's like kind of cool about the NFL, that like there is some stability that you don't get in some of the other sports. Like it feels like the NBA, there's so much movement from like, and it's like weird now because like it's just like free agency training. But I'm excited for daily fantasy for both basketball and football this year. You know, I talked about it last year, but I never really had a steady job and stuff, so I couldn't commit to it, and I plan on doing it a lot more this year. So, and then kind of next up, Cobra Kai. I think we talked about the first half of the new season is up.
That's what I should watch.
Yeah, I want to watch it. I think the second half releases this month, but I could be wrong. And then kind of, I have some backlog stuff that I want to get into. Ted Lasso is one that I've never seen, and everyone says it's good, and it shows up on my TikTok of like clips.
Yeah, that's the only way I've seen it is through clips, and all the clips that I see are great.
Yeah.
Um,
So I'd love
part of it for me is the Apple TV paywall.
Yeah.
Like that's one that like I
dude
may need to wait until
we
I
talk
get a new
about this for a
iPhone.
second too? Because
Yeah.
I would love to watch soccer with my son.
Uh-huh.
And you know, we live in Utah. For those who don't know, our team is very good right now.
Yes.
And I can't watch it. And the playoffs are coming up. And am I gonna just eat the entire season to watch the playoffs now?
So the playoffs are not broadcasted on like ESPN.
They are
or...
the whole. So this was part of bringing in. Is it Messi to Florida?
Yeah,
Methy. So
Yeah.
he gets part of the Apple TV deal.
Oh, okay. So they sold out to them for that. Okay.
So I don't know. Anyway, we're in like really deep into sport. I mean, obviously we're talking about Ted Lasso right now, so it's like
Yeah.
whatever. But it's like a show that I've only ever heard good things about. It's technically done. I know they just renewed for season 4. One of my favorite clips. Actually, I have like lots of really like I love Ted Lasso clips, which really makes me want to watch the show. So it's like in my backlog. And then Jujutsu Kaisen is one that it's kind of like a Dr. Stone that's been recommended to me not just via people, but like via the streaming services. It's like, hey, people who like the type of stuff you like really like this show.
Yeah.
So I haven't watched Jujutsu Kaisen. I know Mason loves it. But it's one that I think I want to hop on. And then, sorry, I'm going so long. My next one is I just want to work on my video game backlog when I am done with Outlaws. You know, I've been playing a lot of comfort games and stuff, but one of the things that I'll say for working on your backlog is that I don't think people should be ashamed for looking up guides of how to play some strategy games. So, for example, I've been one of the games that I was really, really excited about is called Triangle Strategy, and I'm like far into it, but I'm under leveled, and I couldn't figure out why. Like I've only ever done what was in front of me, and apparently, for a while now, I've had the ability to just do skirmishes and level up my characters outside of the story, and I didn't know it.
Oh, okay.
And, you know, I think about like Witcher 3 and like how to craft stuff and like how to like the ability to like free towns and stuff like that. Like I think it's okay to watch like tips and tricks guides, and people need to like get off their high horse about that type of stuff, because like I don't have time to follow everything.
Right.
So I'm hoping to get through my backlog. There's some stuff that I don't think that I'll ever finish, but there are some things that I really want to finish. I'm kind of excited to like get into it. So,
what's one that you think you'll never finish?
One I mentioned on the show. Phoenix Rising is a really big game. Like it's like it's massive. It's very fun. If you had a Switch, I would like let you borrow it because I think you'd really enjoy it. But it's like it is. There's just no way. There's no way I ever finish it. It's been put on the back burner too many times. I mean, to be fair, I said this about Red Dead Redemption 2.
Sure.
I sometimes worry that I'll never finish Red Dead Redemption 1 because of the shift of controls. Like I'd love like a remake of that game
with the two controls.
With the new controls.
Yeah.
What's another one that I think I'll never finish? I should like just grab my Switch case. Oh, where is my Switch case? That's odd. That's suspicious.
Don't be suspicious. Don't be suspicious.
Let's see
Don't
here.
be suspicious.
Well, I finished most of this. In this case, holy crap, Maxwell!
Live on air, we get a holy crap, Maxwell. Is everything just kind of all over the place
No,
in there?
we have 2 Switch cases that
Okay.
hold 10 games each, right?
Right.
And he takes things out of my Switch case and puts them in this one. And mine has empty slots right now. I was like, why does mine have empty slots? There's 13 games in this Switch case. 3 of them are in the pocket. So he's like, he's not even moving them. He's just like, all the games be mine, Dad. I don't know. I don't know. A lot of the games that I'll never finish in my backlog are like, maybe that's not true. Maybe I'll finish some of them. I don't think I'll ever finish Phoenix Rising. Not because it's not good. Like I said on this, I think it's really, really good. But just because, like, I don't know. It's just, it is not. If I'm gonna play a Breath of the Wild game, like, I'm already replaying Breath of the Wild. I don't know. I'm just more attached to it. So.
Sure.
Maybe one day that won't be true, though. I'll be like, you know what? I've played enough Breath of the Wild. Let's go to this. Let's talk about nerd news.
What's worth? I didn't see on my normal sites. I didn't see a lot of news going on. I'm curious about your second one.
Oh man, Patty B. Let me tell you what we're going to be talking about. Where's my?
I am sorry about the first piece of news. That does suck.
Well, hold on, because I'm going to use the soundboard right now. You won't be able to hear it. You won't be able to hear it, but we're going to go. Maybe you will.
Oh, yeah.
News! Okay.
We the Kelsey brothers. News!
Okay, so the first one is... I don't know which piece to talk about. So the Acolyte, which the last time we recorded an R Needs Nerd, I said I was really excited for Season 2. I really can't wait for it to get renewed. And I'm a little lost. So, if you look at their numbers, they had a real big dip in the middle, where like people weren't watching. But people did watch the end. Like, it broke back into, like, you know, top whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know how to feel about this. So, for those who don't know, it hasn't been renewed. There are not plans to renew it. There is a petition that I assume has, like, a lot of signatures now. It was growing pretty fast for a while there. It is at over 50,000 signatures.
Over 50,000.
Yeah, it's actually 64,000 right now. And here's the thing. If the complaints weren't mono-stupid, there are things to complain about the Acolyte for. Like, legitimately. But, like, it ruined my childhood breaking canon stuff. One isn't true. Like, almost half the stuff, it's like, you're just wrong. Like, you're wrong. And also, like, you clearly don't read the books that you claim to love so much because this is in the books. Here's where this happened. It reminds me when people freaked out that Luke force projected in The Last Jedi.
Oh, sure.
And they're like, this is stupid. This has never been happened before. It's like, dude, he does it against Jace in Solo in the books. The character that Ben Solo is based off of. He literally does it in the books there. Sorry, I'm going to lose my mind. And I just like, oh my gosh, Patty. Like, all these, it breaks canon. It's like, no, it doesn't. It's like, what is this bleeding the? I'm gonna spoil so much of the show for you all of a sudden. Like bleeding the Kyber crystal. That's been true. Like since Disney took over, basically, that's how you get a red crystal. It's not it's not a fake crystal anymore like it was in the books. It's not a, you know, you do it
like you have to alter it.
Yes. Oh. Have you watched it yet?
No. That's probably on my list of actual, like, probably should watch. That, and for some reason, when you mentioned Jason Solo, I somehow thought of Mysteries of Erebos. I don't know where we're at on that one. That one I need to.
Yeah, I'm pretty far. I have to like rewatch some of it though, because like I've been watching an episode here or there, and I just need to like actually watch that show.
Yeah,
honestly,
they're short enough that you can kind of just go through it.
Honestly, just the number of people that just jumped on the hate bandwagon that clearly did not watch the show, and even openly admitted. I think I had this on my private Twitter, where I was like, this person is openly admitting to not watching the show and is attacking. Like, what is wrong with humanity?
Complaining about it, yeah. I mean, that's something that happens in a lot of different areas where you're not necessarily like a part of a community or part of something, but you have an opinion and feel like you need to share it online. Like, and that's on both sides, like all sides of anything. Like, I think it happens a lot in a lot of different cases.
Just stop. Yeah. Like, this is something that I have noticed myself being actively happier. We're both a part of MTG Twitter. Yeah. You know, and MTG Twitter loves their daily drama. Whatever the topic of the day is. Sometimes the last couple days. And I just have stopped participating in a lot of cases. You know, I don't care if it gets me less followers. I don't care if it, like, whatever. I'm not just going to participate in just steamrolling stuff. Because the thing is I think about the type of media that I can't stand. And I think about, like, Skip Bayless.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like,
he's the worst.
I don't want to participate like this. Like, I don't care that it gets more views. I don't care that it's like engagement bait. It doesn't bring me any joy whatsoever. And it is absolute insanity. And like the number of people just like Skip Bayless that will contradict themselves in circular arguments just to engage in conversations is wild to me.
Yeah.
It's wild to me. And like this, sorry, go ahead.
For what it's worth, just quick thing, me and a lot of Cowboys fans don't claim Skip Bayless. For what it's worth, he's the worst.
Well, I don't blame you. Did he got his start from literally just like spreading false information about a Cowboys player?
But yeah, and it's crazy that there are some Cowboys fans out there who just like love him. It's just like, that doesn't make sense. That's also why we won't talk about on that same thing of like not because like we could do engagement stuff that like will get a lot of clicks.
Oh, as far as like, you and me?
Yeah, on like shows that we don't necessarily like or don't really have an opinion. Like, we could do that, but that's something that we won't do because
I want to listen to a podcast about things that I enjoy and that like when I think about this podcast. And I had somebody ask me, like, Spencer, how many listeners do you get on this? And I was like, I don't know, like 100. Not a lot.
Yeah.
But I don't do it for that. I do it because I get to talk with somebody. It's my time to talk with one of my best friends about things we like.
Yeah.
And it's so weird to me that people spend their time on things that they don't like.
Yeah, just be happier. Just if you don't like something, don't engage with it.
Just move on.
Talking about Squirrel with a Gun. What is
so wait? Okay.
What is this about?
Hold on. Man, I almost wish that I had a setup to share this with you. We're gonna be right back, podcast listeners, because Patty is gonna watch gameplay of Squirrel with a Gun. We'll be right back. So, Patty.
Hi. Yep. Okay.
So when this game was announced, I was like, "This looks really fun. Like, I'll probably try this, right?" But I forgot about it. Like, it's like the the Souls Hermit Crab game.
I don't think so.
So there's a Hermit Crab. Just for a comparison, there's a Hermit Crab game where you play. It's a Hermit Crab.
Okay.
And like you get different shells and stuff, and like you use stuff as weapons, and it's a Souls-like type of game.
Okay.
And it's like, I forgot about it, but it's funny because like you play as like you're a crab playing like this very hard combat based game where you're like you got a box on your butt or like a thimble or whatever your shell is. It's very funny. And then I saw this and I was like, I thought what you thought that we said this out that you're like, is this like Goat Simulator? And I was like, well, no. Yes, no. So
it has a lot of the same things.
So they are updating Goat Simulator. I'm actually excited to try the new one because like original Goat Simulator, you're just a goat doing stuff.
Yeah.
Like there's no purpose, right? You are actually trying to collect stuff in this game.
Yeah, it looked like there were some different hats and different
like you're trying to like
guns.
So Squirrel with a Gun came out, I want to say Friday. We're recording on Sunday. And people are talking about Game of the Year. Like literally, they're like, this is the most fun. So the reason that I found out the game came out, as I was scrolling through TikTok and somebody was playing it live. And I'm like, oh, I forgot about this game. I'm like, oh, let's see what he does. And he climbs up a tree. And he jumps out of the tree, and then he lands on the head of an FBI agent and breaks his neck, steals his gun, and then goes and robs somebody for acorns. All in a span of like 30 seconds.
That's great. I love that. It's like Grand Theft Auto. It's Squirrel Theft Auto.
It has
about the same graphics level as GTA 5. It's kind of edgy and like.
So this is I think the game of the fall. Like people will be talking about this game and playing this game for just for a couple weeks at least. I don't know how deep this game is. Like I haven't played it yet, but like watching like 2 minutes of actual gameplay, I was like, oh yeah, I need to get this.
I wonder if it's gonna be I can get it on Xbox One.
I don't know.
I'll have to look into it because that seems pretty sweet.
I don't know if it is, man.
Yeah, that's okay. Yeah, this is one of the many reasons it's like I just need to get one of those
Just the Series S.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like this is we'll check back in on this. We'll see if it gets those Game of the Year nods and things like that. But yeah, Squirrel with a Gun released and people love it. Do you want to suggest a topic? Like if you want us to review Squirrel with a Gun, head on over to the comments, whether you're on YouTube or Spotify, and let us know. Let us know. We planned out. I posted, I think, the next few weeks. We switched episodes this week. I was not ready to do the arena episode. I needed to write out show notes that are pretty detailed and stuff for that, so we switched to this one. But we'll be back next week with arena, talking about MTG Arena. It is certainly the way that Patty and I played most of our Magic. But yeah.
Also, in the YouTube comments, comment your favorite draft position and why picking on the turn, the last, is not the best draft position.
Hold on. Can we be specific to a 10-team league?
Sure.
Or an 18 league. If it's an 18 league, it's even better. Like, I'm sure, like, once you get to, like, 14, it probably sucks. But, like,
I think even at 12, 10 is probably, like, my team's okay. But comment your favorite draft position on the YouTube video. Leave us a like and sub.
That is going to do it. Patty B, if you were to give people one piece of advice they're going to download Arena, get ready for our episode to learn how to use it, how to play it, what's the one thing that they should know right now?
If you're building your own deck, make sure you put enough lands in your deck. It's hard to do stuff without the appropriate lands and the appropriate colors. You want enough mana to be able to cast your spells. Those starter decks are pretty great. I still, anytime I have to do a quest, I use one of the starter decks in the starter deck challenge. So
that's dope. And for what it's worth, we'll talk about this. I don't know if they'll still be live, but like you can go get a pretty good Bant Toxic deck right now on Arena for like
something we'll definitely talk about.
No dollars. Something new that they're doing. Thank you everybody so much for listening. Let us know what your need to nerd is, what you're nerding about, whether it's in the YouTube comments on Spotify. Let Patty B know that he sucks for always screwing me over in the draft, always messing things up. And we'll see you guys on next week with another episode of the Need to Nerd podcast.